This episode of Southeast Iowa Today is brought to you by Griner Auto Body of Washington, Iowa, using state-of-the-art techniques and decades of experience to get your car back on the road after an accident. Car Doctor of Washington, Iowa. No matter who Frankensteined it, they can fix it, clean it, and customize it. McDonald Boneyard of Keota, Iowa, for all your farm equipment and auto recycling needs. For great food, it's your choice. Your Choice Family Restaurant of Wayland, Iowa. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Come to our cruise-ins this summer on the second Tuesday of the month, June through September. Girling Repair of Winfield, Iowa. If your mower is dead, call Fred, your Husqvarna, Aaron's, and Gravely dealer. Fred also fixes and sells snowblowers. B&B Propane and the family of jet stops. CW Tree Trimming, LLC. We're into your trees, not your wallet. Serving all of Henry County and the surrounding area. We offer a senior citizen and veteran discount. Dutch Market and Coffee Talk of Washington, Iowa. Dutch Market can handle all of your grocery needs, and they even have a conference room that you can use for free. Coffee Talk's drive-thru is open and ready to serve you coffee, energy drinks, sandwiches, baked goods, and ice cream. They all present you the award-winning Southeast Iowa Today. Here's the author of Christie's Journey, The Beat Goes On, and your host, John Bain.
Thank you, announcer Cody Roy of NewEnglandDukes.com for your golden pipes and wonderful introduction. It's Friday, June 20th, 2025. I am in Mount Pleasant, Iowa at the Veterans Hall for the monthly Veterans Breakfast. There's a lot that goes on here each month, and I get to share with you what happened today.
Roger Pitzenbarger, I'm a Veterans Affairs Service Officer here in Henry County. Just to cover a couple of things that was going on this last month. As you all know, the 224th Brigade was sent off for their training to be deployed. It was one of the largest deployments for Iowa in a decade. The state of Iowa deployed 1,917 troops. They all, most of them went to Fort Polk, Louisiana for their training. I have two grandsons down there educating them on their deployment, but they weren't deployed. It just seems like we can't stay out of trouble in the Middle East, and it seems like it just keeps on, thank you. It just seems like it keeps getting worse. But nevertheless, they were deployed, and God bless them. Hopefully everything goes well for them. Just to let you know, I attended the meeting at the County Sheriff's Office put on by Jesse Ross. I believe that was his name. And it was concerning opioid prescriptions. As you well know, the VA is the largest drug dealer there is in the world. And believe it or not, you keep all your medicine in a medicine chest, obviously, okay? Well, grandkids know exactly where that medicine chest is, and they probably know what grandpa's taking, okay? So they presented us with these pamphlets. I laid some over on the table over there, and then also there's bottles here that is lock-proof, that people can't get into it except you, and I think it's a good deal. I got a whole bag of those over there, and I laid out several over there as well. I think it is an important situation to protect the kids, okay? And whether they're on drugs or not, they still take it and sell it, okay? Like I say, it's put on by Jesse Bill. I'm going to invite him to come and talk about that, and he will have those bottles as well. And maybe we can get this done by the next meeting that we have. It's a very good presentation, and I think it'd be a good thing for us to go through. We had 3 veterans receive Quilts of Valor. Thank you, Jane. At Park Place, it was quite of a deal. Very touching for residents. There was 3 veterans that received the Quilt of Valor. The quilts were beautiful, and very much appreciated, and it was posted in the newspaper as well. Hopefully you all seen that. And I think that's pretty much all I got. Any questions? Okay, thank you. Zachary Nelson, home base, Iowa.
Hi, I'm Zachary Nelson. I'm with Home Base Iowa. I'm located out of Iowa Works in West Burlington. So the main thing what we do, if you haven't heard of Home Base Iowa before, is that we help veterans, transitioning service members, and spouses find employment. And then we also try to recruit them in from out of state to come live in Iowa. So we help with resumes, job searching. We can get them into contact with local employers. We have what we call levers, so she can kind of connect them with employers there. So yeah, mock interviews is another service. So if you know any veterans that need assistance, reach out to me. I've got business cards on myself. So yeah, stop on over, talk, whatnot. So thank you.
Hang on a minute.
You all know that last month we sent the 224th Brigade down to Fort Polk, Louisiana. I got 3 emails. This hurts me. Not really hurt me, but made me feel so good. Robert, will you please stand? Robert, please stand.
Dave.
Is Robert here? Well, anyway. Yes, that's you.
That's him. That's the guy.
I got an email from Senator Grassley's office, also an email from the governor, and an email from the Patriot Guard Riders. Out of the 8 units that were sent in the state of Iowa, we are a small community. We're smaller than Council Bluffs, Sioux City, Des Moines, and Iowa City. Mount Pleasant was an outstanding, the best performance they've ever seen sending our troops away. This all came down with Bob. 90% of the time he was out there organizing. Bob and I talked back and forth, but I was too busy to really get out there. Bob did a wonderful job, and we need to thank Bob for doing this, because it was, for the governor, the best send-off they see in the smallest community there was.
It was all for them, and it'll be bigger when they come home.
Yes. Amen.
I want to tag on that just a little bit. Not only did our riders take care of the local unit, but they also saw the engineers out of Cedar Rapids as they came and tagged up with our group. They were synchronized, so the whole battalion arrived at Fort Polk at the same time, but coming from all over the state. So really excellent coordination, communication, and just downright it was a nice day for it too. Alrighty, good. You want to introduce thank you is not never enough?
Thank you is never enough. Shelley Atkinson, I would like to have something to say.
I didn't forget you. I'm saving.
Good morning. So I just want to thank everyone that helped us and supported us last week at our benefit. We had an amazing turnout, and we did very well on that. With that being said, Jane did a Quilts of Valor ceremony, plus all our 50-50 money went to Jane and the quilters. So I have a couple checks up here, Jane, if you'd come up. The first one's for $800 from Thank You Is Never Enough. And the second one is for $583 for the 50-50 money. The recipient that won the other half donated hers back, so. And And just a reminder, our next event is July 4th down at Keosauqua at the Veterans Club down there. We're gonna do a cookout, it's free will donation. It's from 4 to 7, so, and then I know the Vets Club's doing karaoke afterwards, so.
Jane, you wanna just stay up there? Put your checks
Gotta
down.
get her stuff.
As long as we got Jane standing, might as well take advantage of this.
Can I have Don Wiley come up, please?
Don, here you go.
Welcome to this Quilts of Valor ceremony. My name is Jane Messer, and I am a member of the Quilts of Valor Foundation. And it's my privilege to be here today to tell you about the Quilts of Valor Foundation, as well as to thank, honor, and welcome home our veterans who answered our nation's call to defend our great country. While each Quilt of Valor is awarded to our veterans, we're also expressing our heartfelt thank you to the wives and family. They may not have been on the battle lines or on the seas of the world, striving to keep all of us free, but they were the silent strength during those times and sacrificed just as much, keeping family and home together while their loved ones were away. A Quilt of Valor is not a charity quilt. A Quilt of Valor is not a blanket. It is a quilt consisting of 3 layers, and I'd like to think of those layers in these terms. The top of the quilt with its many colors, shapes, and fabrics represents the communities and the many individuals we are. Each stitch in the quilt represents the love and gratitude, and sometimes tears of the maker. The batting is the center of the quilt. It's warmth. It represents the hope that this quilt will bring warmth, comfort, peace, and healing to the individual who receives it. The backing is the strength. It holds the many pieces of the quilt together. It represents the strength of the recipient, his faith in God, in himself, his family, our community, and our nation. A Quilt of Valor is priceless. It can never be bought. It should never be sold. It's not a birthday gift or a Christmas present. Recipients often state it means more to them than any of the military medals they received because it comes from the heart and hands of the maker and their community. A Quilt of Valor is a healing and comforting gesture, a tangible thing that can be wrapped around oneself and know that someone thinks about them with love and caring. Each Quilt of Valor is a lifetime award. It's our foundation's equivalent of the Purple Heart. Each quilt has a label that specifically says, "This Quilt of Valor belongs to you." May your Quilt of Valor be healing and comforting when you need it, and a continual reminder that we honor and thank you for your service and sacrifices. Thank you for your service. And this is the label that is yours. I will wrap you.
Once the storm passes, you're not gonna wanna wear that. Go ahead and turn around so you can see the back. Would you like to say a few words? Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's kind of talking to the choir, but I would agree that I have Parkinson's, so I can't talk very well. But this goes to my wife that's touching me. She took care of 2 kids. It was a long time ago, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Okay. sorry I missed last month. We were sending off all the troops to Fort Polk and places elsewhere, and we had 3 times that number of family members gathered in Iowa City to get basic information about how to get a hold of TRICARE, about jobs when they come back, about getting all the services that are available to them while their soldiers are gone. It took a little higher priority than breakfast, and I'm sorry. I can only be so many places at once. That said, we recently, militaryfriendly.com just held their Veteran of the Year and Veteranpreneur of the Year competitions running through Flag Day. And I did win Veteranpreneur for Iowa, thanks to all of you. If you are still active on the various social media sites like LinkedIn and Facebook and whatnot, I am running at the national level now at militaryfriendly.com/VOY, as is the student veteran leader at the University of Northern Iowa in the veterans category. So we got a couple Iowegians running around trying to make a name for ourselves. The award comes with absolutely nothing but obligations and a little label we can stick on our Facebook page. But it's nice to know you all care, and we're still out here doing what we can for you. Any questions before I hand it over to Chaz?
You want to hit on the 34th?
Oh, yeah. The guys down at Fort Polk are almost done with their annual training phase at the Joint Readiness Training Center. At least 1,000 of them will be coming home, and 1,800 are scheduled to go forward. However, there is talk about U.S. drawdowns in Syria, and it's possible they could release 1 or 2 of the battalions back home still, but that's echelons way above my pay grade, and being a retiree, you know what my pay grade is. Way down. That said, we are very, very happy, and the guys turned in bunches of patriotic employer awards before they left. So, you know, myself and a couple hundred of my friends will be very, very busy out there recognizing the employers that get it. So, yes.
Thank you, John.
So just to add on a little information on the 34th, they are just now finishing up a 2-week intensive training called JRTC. 3-week, my apologies. So if you haven't heard much from these guys, part of their training was being out in the field without communications at home. They were blacked out from communications. They were living very uncomfortable conditions. It's a very intense training exercise that they did with a couple other units, but it trains them to be in the heat of battle and combat and living on just bare necessities. So it'll be a great training for those guys that do end up having to deploy. The only other thing that I wanted to hit on this morning has already been hit on. Huge thank you to Bobby. I saw all the work that he put into working with the Mount Pleasant Police Department, the Iowa State Patrol, the Sheriff's Department. It was just an absolutely wonderful ride, and quite an honor to join on that, man. Our next breakfast will be next month, the 3rd Friday. That's July 18th. So I hope to see everybody here, as many of you as possible. I don't know if we have any speakers lined up for next month, but we are working on that. So it was great to see you guys. You don't have to be out of here in a big hurry. Take your time and, you know, get some camaraderie, and that's what this is for. So it's great to see you guys, and have a wonderful month.
John, thank you for being on the podcast today. We are here at the Veterans Hall in Mount Pleasant, Iowa for the monthly Veterans Breakfast. Mm-hmm. And we had a speaker here today, and we had a Quilt of Valor presentation. It's quite a day.
We try to squeeze in a Quilt of Valor every month, and we do canvass the community to make sure we haven't missed anybody yet. The ladies from the Quilts of Valor do an excellent job. As a committee, we hosted the Vietnam Veterans Day dinner back at the end of March and raised a couple $1,000s for them to buy more material, because these quilts are not cheap.
They are not, and I saw it today too, and it was part of this podcast. Shelley Atkinson from Thank You Is Never Enough, a local veterans support group, presented a check from their benefit last Saturday to the Quilts of Valor, so that was nice.
We also had representatives from home-based Iowa and Roger Pitzenbarger, the Henry County Veterans Affairs Officer. We try to get all of the local veterans groups and interest groups to let the community know what's going on, because none of us operate in a vacuum. So the more we can share, the more we as a community can come together and honor and support our veterans.
Now, I'm not a veteran, and I just happened to come today because I knew about this. I'm assuming that anybody like me would be welcome.
Anybody is welcome. The food is always good.
It was delicious.
The ladies from the two auxiliaries here, this hall is a joint Legion VFW venture. So we have 2 posts and 2 auxiliaries and a lot of people that really care. So they host. We have an ad hoc committee that does a little planning, tries to bring in speakers. We often get representatives from Grassley or Ernst office to come in and tell us what's going on in Washington, but also listen to local concerns. So veterans issues bubble up from the bottom. We have, there are times when school is out, we've had a lot of youngsters here, and we find we have a lot of very patriotic young people that this is a good focal point for them to get involved.
It sure is, and it's nice to know that we have a lot of patriotic young people.
It's great. It's again, this used to be the heart of the community. I think we are working our way back there again. Only about 1% of the population are veterans, but here in the heartland, it's a very important 1%.
Yes.
Because it's the folks that did do all the work in the 40s and 50s, that raised their kids in the 60s and 70s, and are now looking after their grandkids and great-grandkids. And Mount Pleasant in the greater Henry County area is better for it.
You can't argue with that, that's for sure. If there was a message that you would want to give to a veteran in Southeast Iowa, and specifically in Henry County, that's never been here before, what would you say to them?
I would encourage any veteran, even if they have been here once or twice, come on back. The food's always good. The camaraderie is above par. And, it's like-minded people sharing good community information. And while it may not directly impact you, it may impact someone you know.
That's a good
point.
Yeah.
So, if we don't talk to our peers, who will?
It's a great question, and I'm going to wrap up this interview right now with that. And thank you so much for your service to our country, and also thank you for being on the podcast today.
Well, thank you, John, and you are always welcome to come down, with or without your mic.
Thank you. Thank you to John Michelson for being on the program today. Thank you for watching. Thank you to my sponsors, Griner Auto Body, Car Doctor, McDonald Boneyard, Girling Repair, Your Choice Family Restaurant, B&B Propane and the family of Jet Stops, CW Tree Trimming LLC, Dutch Market, and Coffee Talk. I'm your host, John Bain. Stay friendly, Southeast Iowa.